Now, President William Ruto is anchoring the politics of 2027 on a development plan, an agenda. Now, that is not the politics people are used to. Now, everyone is realizing that it is so hard to campaign against President Ruto using an agenda. Because when you are an opposition, you are called an alternative government. Actually, an opposition is an alternative government.
Yes.
An alternative government cannot be your name. That is actually the function of an opposition. When Raila was alive, you used to see him provide alternatives. Alternative government is not about you sitting and telling people about what you will do when you come in. No. An alternative government is about you correcting the service government so that you get better service now. Because the country belongs to everybody and everyone is paying tax. So the first impact you must have as an opposition is to make the current government better. That's why you used to see Raila Odinga would come out and say, there is something happening at Treasury. There is this money and this and this and this that has come from wherever, and this money has been brought for this. Food. But this money is being diverted. I don't know if you remember those, the dossiers that Raila used to come up with. And saying this money is being diverted here and that. And that would make Parliament wake up the following day and ask, summon the minister, summon the Cabinet Secretary of Treasury, summon the CS Energy and say, wait, there's this dossier. What do you know about it? So that way, the country is taken back to the right path. That is what an opposition is supposed to do. Now, this one that we have is doing nothing to take, they are only highlighting the problem without highlighting the solution. And they're only anchoring the campaign on a promise of a better future that is not anchored on any significant thing that I'm telling you I'm going to solve. I'm only telling you to trust me that a miracle is going to happen. And when you ask them, what are you guys planning? They tell you, no, wait a minute. Let Ruto be one term first.
You know,
so the Kenyans are supposed to elect you and make you president based on hope. So the only strategy that you have is hope that, you know what, when you're being asked, okay, so what will you do? You're saying healthcare, there is a problem. What will you do? You say,
shida ya kwanza.
Let me become, let us first of all do away with
the current president.
Yeah. Now, Sifuna has, I saw him trying yesterday on, I think, was it Fixing the Nation?
Yeah.
To try and come up with an agenda. And he talked about human rights. And
the software, the values.
And he said it's about the values. And now I asked myself, is Sifuna interested in being the Chief Justice? Is he interested in being the chair, the president of the Law Society of Kenya? Or probably the CEO of the Human Rights Commission? Because we have those. Because the things he's talking about are not what the function of a president. Or do you want to be the chief pastor of the republic? Because you are not elected in office as president to deal with moral issues and all that. And no. We must develop the country.
Yeah.
And that's why this government is saying we are anchoring this development on what we are calling the Singapore Dream. And for us to be able to understand that the Singapore Dream is not just a slogan, what are the fundamentals, the building blocks? We are saying we have an infrastructure fund. This infrastructure fund, we are going to get money that is going to be put there. Now, this money is what we are going to use to develop and build roads this way. What will that affect? That will be able to ensure that we don't borrow more so that we can build roads, because we have built our own infrastructure fund. That looks like a plan that has a direction. But then you're telling us that you want to take over the country so that we can enhance morality.
Fix morals.
Then what is the work of pastors?